All right, welcome back. And today, well, if you're doing the same day, we're going to be doing lesson 11.2.3, solving systems of three equations with three variables. All right, so step one, label the equations A, B, C, and because we only have three. So I'm going to do this, A colon, B colon, C colon, and that's how I'm going to label them. Just go in order from top to bottom. Don't make it confusing on yourself, because labeling A, B, and C is going to help you realize your mistakes while you're doing it. It's great to get used to that. All right, so you can pick two equations and limit X, Y, or Z. Label this new equation D. It's up to you which two equations you're going to use to eliminate it. So I'm going to use A and B. A, 4x minus y plus z equals 3. And B, x plus 2y plus z equals 0. Here, I'll put the little, there we go, because my z's look like 2's. So I'm going to multiply the second equation by -1 to eliminate the z's. So I'm going to do this. A, 4x minus y plus z equals 3. And then negative b, and then whatever I get for negative b, negative x minus 2y minus z equals 3. And then we can add both equations together to get d. So I'm going to get 3x minus 3y, z's cancel, equals 6. And this is, we can still simplify this. We can divide everything by 3. All right, and I'm going to get x minus y equals 1. And that is going to be d. And I'm just going to denote it that way. Put d colon. All right, so now we have to pick a different set of pairs. And the only pairs that we have left for step 3 is B and C. All right, so now I'm going to use B and C. X plus 2y plus z equals 0. And 3x plus 7y minus 3z equals 6. All right. So whenever you're eliminating, you're always going to add these two equations to each other. Never subtract. All right? First rule. Second rule, if you eliminated a z from the first two equations you picked in step 2, you have to eliminate the same variable in step 3. So we have to eliminate z. So I'm going to have to go and multiply b by -3. And I'm going to get -3b. And I'm going to put the answer right here. -3x minus 6y minus 3z. No, not negative. God. Positive 3. Yeah, we can all make those mistakes. No. All right, 3x plus 6y plus 3z equals 0, because 3 times 0 is still 0. And then I'm going to add it to c, which is 3x plus 7y minus 3z, which equals 6. Now we're going to add them together. And I'm going to get 6x plus 13y, z's cancel, equals 6, right? But I can't reduce anything. So E is going to be this equation. So now I'm going to use, in step 4, D and E to eliminate either X or Y. And honestly, X's is going to be the easiest to eliminate just by looking at both of them. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to do D, X minus Y equals 1, and E, just so I have them, 6x plus 13y equals 6, right? So the easiest thing for me to do is multiply D by -6. So -6D gives me -6x plus 6y equals -6. And then E, get me 6x plus 13y equals 6, because I don't want to multiply the whole thing by 13 just so I don't have to multiply by a negative. That's a little ridiculous. So x's cancel, and then 6 plus 13 19y equals 0. So y equals 0. Yes, this can happen. You can get a 0 for a y. So y equals 0. We have our first answer, and I solved for y. Y equals 0. Guess what? Now I can use D or E and plug in for y to get x, right? So I'm going to use x minus y because it's so easy. X minus y equals 1, y equals 0, x minus 0 equals 1, x equals 1. There we go. And write D, right? Because you use D. Make sure, get in the habit of doing that. There we go. All right, let's do step 6. So plug solution step 4 and 5 into any of the 3 original equations. Well, which one's the easiest? B. B is going to be the easiest. You don't want to know why? Because it equals 0. X plus 2y plus z equals 0. So we have x and we have y, so we're good to go. So I'm going to do 1 plus 2 times 0 plus z equals 0. So z is going to equal -1, right? Z equals -1. There we go. And now we're going to use the notation you guys all love to write this down. So I'm going to write x, y, z, element of, gives me the answers, bracket, and then we're going to put it in that format. And we're going to put 1, 0, -1, and then we're going to close the bracket if I can draw a proper bracket. There we go. Wow, that one looked better than that one. But that's how we're going to do it. So let's practice. We're good to go. We can go on the second page. I know you guys can't answer me, so I'm going to assume yes. Your silence means yes. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. That was a good one. All right, let's do number 1. Look how much room they gave us. So let's do it. Let's choose. This one's going to be my A. This one's going to be my B. That one's going to be my C. So I'm going to use A and B first. Then I'm going to use 3A and 5B to eliminate the Z's, right? So I'm going to get, when I do that, 3x plus 12y minus 15z equals -7. And for 5b, I'm going to get 15x plus 10y plus 15z. Oh, look at that. 15's cancel. 15z's cancel. Equals, oh, not -7. Wow, -21. And this one equals 35. And what happens when we add them to each other? Well, 15x plus 3x gives us 18x plus 22y. Oh, look at that, they cancel. Equals 14. Can we reduce? Yeah, we could divide everything by 2. And I'm going to get 9x plus 11y equals 7. And I'm going to label this E. This one's my E. All right, so next I'm going to have to use so I found, I found my D. My bad. It doesn't matter which one you label, E or D. Just make sure that you have it in your head. Don't get confused and lost like me. So I can also use A and C without changing them to get rid of those Z's, right? X plus 4y minus 5z equals -7. And then 2x plus y plus 5z equals 8. And that's why I found that one first. That's why I got rid of the z's, because these are easy to get rid of. And always do what's easiest to get rid of. I'll just do this so I know. All right, right? Because I don't need a, oh, multiply a by 3 or multiply c by -2. You know, it's right there. So 3x plus 5y equals 1. There's not much I can do with that. That's going to be e. So now I have e and d. Now, which one is going to be easier to get rid of? Well, the x, because all I have to do is multiply -3 to e. So I'm going to use d, 9x plus 11y equals 7, and then -3 to get -9x minus 15y equals -3, right? Now I can cancel those out, and I'm going to get -4y equals 4. Y equals -1. So now I have y equals -1. I can put it into either. I'm going to put it into e. I'm going to use e, and I'm going to get 3x plus 5 times -1 equals 1. So then I'm going to get 3x minus 5 equals 1, 3x equals 6, x equals 2, right? So now I have y equals -1, x equals 2, and all I got to do is find z, and I'm going to use a. A is going to help me find z. So I'm going to do 2 plus 4 times -1 minus 5z equals -7, and z equals 1. All right, so now we got to put the answer in x, y, and z, element of 2, -1, 1. Those are my answers. And highlight them. There we go. All right, let's do number 2. So number 2, a lot more crazy numbers. This doesn't mean we can't do it. So let's go. So I'm gonna go with my A. I'm gonna label my A, my B, and my C. I have those labeled. So, how am I gonna find D? I'm gonna use A and 2B. So I'm gonna use A and multiply B by 2 to make it easier on myself. 2B, and I get -4x plus 4y, because y's, this time I'm getting rid of the y's. Plus 4y plus 2z equals 10. So y's cancel. Get x minus 4z equals -9. So that is my D. Can't reduce, can't do anything. So next up, I'm going to use B and C. I'm going to have to multiply B by 3. So 3B, -6x plus 6y plus C. Remember, we have to get rid of the y because we got rid of the y and the D. So now we have to do that for our next B and C. So C is going to be 3x minus 6y. Oh my god. Why am I so out of it? Wow. Plus 3z equals 15. Minus 5z equals -16. So you can see that you can make a lot of mistakes if you're not focused, and this helps you. Like, oh, I made a mistake at 3b. Oh, I made a mistake in this step at this section. That's why label. So I get -3x, y's cancel, minus 2z equals -1, and that is my E. Now, I'm going to combine my D and the E, but I want to get rid of the x's. So D is going to have to be multiplied by 3. So I'm going to get 3D, 3x minus 12z equals negative 27. Whew, mustache got itchy. Negative 3x minus 2z equals negative 1, right? Don't need to do anything to E. X's cancel. Look at that, we kept the z's for once. Minus 14z equals negative 28. Why did my hand do that? Wrote the 8 before the 2. So z equals 2. So we have one solution. So now, using D, I'm going to find x. X minus 4 times 2 equals negative 9. X equals negative 1. There we go. And next, I'm going to be using B, because B is the simplest for me. Negative 2 minus 1. Do whatever is easier for you. As long as you show your steps, we will know. Plus 2 equals 5. 2y equals 1. Y equals 1/2, right? So now, we're going to have to write our answers. And formal notation, x, y, z. Element of, bracket, negative 1, 1/2. Remember, you have to have these in order, x, y, and z, because you wrote x, y, z. Unless you wrote z, y, x, then you have to write it in z, y, x. Hopefully you don't do that and confuse everyone. So there you go. And that is your solutions to this problem. So I think this is going to be the final lesson before your final. Take the time, review everything. If you've been doing everything on a weekly basis and getting help with your questions, I don't think you'd have a problem on the final. So show up to office hours with your questions ready. Take care of what you need to take care of and relax. You'll be fine. All right. See ya in the upcoming week.